Right. So this is about CQRS, which is command query response aggregation saga patterns explanation I'm giving, because this is intended for the people who are already in the development and who are in design patterns understanding, right? So all that, and it's a kind of advanced kind of course where in which majorly focusing on advanced microservices, event-driven systems, so that we can manage the data consistency, scalability, followed by complex business workflows, wherein understanding the traditional monolithic data management techniques, all that. So this is a kind of course wherein providing a deep understanding over two foundational these things, two foundational architectural patterns. One is about CQRS part, as I told you, at the same time, second about saga patterns. Of course, theory will be involved in, right? So some basic understanding of the theory, including some practical stuff, will also be covered in this. And majorly, as I mentioned, like this is intended for people who are in the Java development, right? So who are intended to move towards architecture side and who are in entry-level Java developer roles, whatever the kind, right? So provided people are in the development, especially in Java development, either from basic entry level people to advanced level people, whoever wants to upskill themselves in CQRS and Saga design, Saga patterns, etc. So these are all intended for them. So as in beginning itself, I'm saying like this I'm going to explain from the basics. Okay, I'll start from the basics itself, so that it reaches to the even for the normal laymen who are new to the development, even should be knowing. So that was the major focus, of course. Wherein here, whenever I'm explaining the modules directly. But before that, I'll be explaining about the design patterns, all that. Basic understanding over that will be given. So even those people can also come along with the software architect people or any principal engineers, back-end development team, and DevOps leads and all that. So next, when it comes to the prerequisites are concerned, understanding over object-oriented analysis design and microservices principles are needed, that is required. At the same time, having over the message brokers or proficiency in any Java or something of that is good, is required. So these are the prerequisites majorly. This is an advanced level. Now I could see, because as far as my requirements are concerned, I could see people are not so proficient in these areas. You can contact me. Like you can contact me after that. Right? So you can contact me if you don't have. So that area will be covered first, and then I will be teaching this. Right. So this either we are coming from object-oriented analysis design, Java, microservices principles, and all. It's fine. So that the curriculum will be as it is. People who are not so proficient in that area, so that I will teach them those as separate uh, slot. Okay, a separate course, a separate slot I'll teach. After that, I will teach CQRS and design, saga patterns, everything as separate. So this is what. Now, when it comes to the curriculum structure is concerned, which will be of these modules, like majorly 5 modules that we can see. The first module about foundations of distributed data and as well as CQRS that I am covering. Wherein here we are taking key deliverables like event sourcing, at the same time, write versus read model separations, all this. Second, advanced CQRS and event sourcing and all, wherein I am covering about the domain models, projections, handling concurrencies, etc. Everything will be involved in the second module. The third module, distributed transactions and saga pattern, wherein differentiating between acid as well as base orchestration versus choreography sagas, right? So this is all part of the third module. Fourth module, like failure handling and compensation and idempotency, like wherein here we're going to discuss about compensating transactions, innovative consumers, out-of-box patterns, all these. Fifth module, wherein production architecture and testing, wherein by monitoring, distributed tracing, real-world microservices migrations, everything will be involved in. So this is what generally the modules that I'm covering under CQRS and Saga patterns are concerned. Now, if you can see the detailed background and the foundation of distributed CQRS and all, our focus is more on the limitations of first starts with traditional CRUD in microservices, including CQRS principle. These are the two things which I am focusing more on in the first module, which consists of architectural anatomy, right? So at the same time, domain models, all that will be involved in. This is the first one. Second, advanced CQRS implementation and event sourcing is the second module, wherein I'll start with event sourcing fundamentals. At the same time, in this event sourcing fundamentals, I'm focusing more on storing a state as immutable sequence of domains, prepaying the events, event versioning, everything will be part of it, followed by are we going to build any kind of high performance projections like synchronous and asynchronous projections? Everything will be covered under the advanced CQRS implementation and event sourcing. Third module, distributed transactions and saga pattern, where I'm going to cover the distributed transactional changes, challenges and all that. So wherein understanding about two-phase commands, all that, including saga patterns, like we need to start with the definitions of saga pattern. At the same time, these sagas can be categorized into two parts. One is about choreography-based sagas, and at the same time, orchestration-based sagas and all. So these two will be covered in this. These two will be covered in this. Next, about the module, so which is about module 4. I can say that. Module 4. So this module 4 majorly about failure handling and compensation in idempotency, wherein first I'll be covering about compensating transactions like semantic locks versus undo operations, all these, and forward recovery versus backward recovery strategies, etc. I'm covering. Next, ensuring we need to ensure robustness and reliability, idempotency in messaging consumers, right? So transaction outbox patterns, dead letter of queues, right? So DL queues, all these will be covered in the fourth module. Fifth module about the production architecture and testing part, wherein focusing more on the observability monitoring. At the same time, testing the distributed systems, etc., including enterprise migration strategies, all that. Along with it, some kind of practical hands-on lab implementation I'll be giving you. I'll take some domain, something like financial payment gateway domain or something I'll be taken. And examples will be explained on this regard. So this is what completely about CQRS and saga patterns are all about.